B1, Inheritance, Genetics and Cloning. The first thing you need to know in this topic is to do with inheritance. This is how our DNA is found in our cells. First of all, within our cell, the chromosomes are found inside the nucleus. These chromosomes are found in pairs, and on those pairs of chromosomes you find genes which code for specific characteristics. There are 23 pairs of chromosomes in all human body cells. That's 46 individual chromosomes. Each chromosome contains genes which code for characteristics, for example, eye colour. The only difference is in sexed cells, so sperm cells and egg cells, they contain 23 individual chromosomes. The reason for this is so when we inherit genes and chromosomes from our parents, we get 23 chromosomes from our mum in the egg cell and 23 chromosomes from our dad in the sperm cell. When they come together in fertilisation, that then leads to 46 individual chromosomes in the baby. There are two types of reproduction that you need to know about: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction happens in things like bacteria, and there is only one parent. And that's because they produce exact copies of themselves, so their offspring are exact copies. In sexual reproduction, which happens in humans, you have a joining of two sex cells from two parents. So that is your sperm cell and your egg cell. And this is important because it produces something called genetic variation. And that is why people look similar to their parents, but they do not look exactly the same as their parents. So what is variation? It's produced from sexual reproduction, like I just said. It helps offspring to survive because we're all slightly different. And like I just said, that's why we don't look exactly the same as our parents, because we're not clones of our parents, but we're a combination of genes from our mother and our father. Now, after birth, you'll find that everybody looks a little bit different, and those are due to genetic differences and environmental differences. Genetic differences are formed because of the genes of an organism. For example, eye colour, gender, natural hair colour, dimples and skin colour. They are all coded for in our DNA. Some environmental differences are due to differences in the environment. So, diet, language, skin tone, tattoos, and whether or not your hair is dyed are all factors that are affected by your environment. The last thing you need to know is about adult cell cloning, and this is really, really important. So how does it work? You've got person A, and from person A you take one adult cell, that could be a skin cell, and you remove the nucleus from that cell, which contains all of the DNA. From person B, you take a mature egg cell, and you then take out the nucleus, and you're left with an empty egg cell without a nucleus. You then put those two cells together, and you give them an electric shock. When you give them a mild electric shock, after they are fused, they then start to divide. The cloned embryo that started to divide is then transplanted into the uterus of a third person, and then that person will give birth to the baby, which is a clone of person A, because person A is the person that we have taken the DNA from.